fooling us that it was at the other end.
Still a fascinating and encouraging start to have something on tape this early in the investigation.
Yeah.
OK, Kieran's staying with me for the time being, as are, first time ever, Brian Shepherd and Billy Roberts. They are down there, guys, and let's go to you first, Brian, without protection, without, if you like, an expert guide. Do you feel happy about that, or are you uneasy?
Well, I'm not happy about it, obviously, and I've just had a word with them now. You know, that as far as I'm concerned anyway, this is something which we've encountered before. During this week, we're calling it maybe different names on occasion, but it is exactly the same thing, and it has a power, and it could be dangerous. And I'm saying, be careful. I don't think they're totally without protection. I think we've done all we can to ensure that, in our ability anyway, with our ability, to protect them. So I'm hoping that they will be okay. And
OK, let's turn now to Billy. Billy, you've used your clairvoyance this evening. You shared some names with us. I'm going to talk to Leslie in a moment about those, and Fred. Do you get any overriding sense, any intuition about a sense of threat or danger tonight?
Well, the problem I have is with the Ouija board, because there's always a danger that you create something that isn't there. And as a Buddhist precept, you don't get what you want, you get who you are. And I think, to me, that says it all. But I think there is a danger that you disturb something, because I don't feel any evil in this building. There are evil people who are now in the spirit world, but I think their intent would be to gravitate towards people who are trying to exploit the situation. So that's what I stand in this.
Thank you for the moment, chaps. We've also got on hand, of course, our historian Leslie Smith and our demonologist and expert in the dark arts, Fred Batt. We've had some extraordinary names this evening. Let's have a quick catch-up with them. Leslie, if we can start with you first. We had a couple of names from Billy. We had a chap, I think, called Walter Davis, who said that he'd been murdered or killed by somebody else. Can you remind me the other name?
The other name was William Chadwick.
William Chadwick.
And that was absolutely right. And in fact, Chadwick was hung at Kirkdale Prison, having the case having been heard here on the 15th of April in 1890. Absolutely fascinating, because it was bang on in every sense. And it was the first time a man was executed by step-free gallows, when you step forward and just drop, as opposed to that drop, because one of the hangings had been very unsuccessful and the man's head was ripped off in another case. So that's why this thing was introduced in this way. So that was a bang-on hit. Well done.
Now, we should say that Yvette quite rightly said a name came through from a much more recent case, in fact,
Yes.
from 1949.
That's right.
That person involved in that case, and Brian got the sense of a camera, was in fact exonerated. He was cleared in 2003.
In 2003, you know, we're a bit jumpy. We want to show a great deal of respect to the family concerned here, and tell you that in 2003, that young man was in fact fully exonerated, that he had not committed this murder. It was a double murder at a nearby cinema, and in fact, I'm afraid it was a miscarriage of justice, a great tragedy.
OK, and it was 60 years ago this year that man was hanged.
It was, and we're very sorry. He was only 26 or 27 years of age.
Thank you for the moment, Leslie. Fred, I noticed you got very close there to the sounds, to the Ouija board session there. I couldn't quite hear everything that was going on. Was the name Son of Saturn that came through?
It was Son of something, and last night we had Son of Satan, I think it was, wasn't it? But I was more interested in downstairs, where the noises I was hearing was more like a small wolf cry or something like that. And if you remember, in Wales, we had the Welsh werewolf. That's more interesting to me. That was a really weird sound. It wasn't like a murmuring, a cry. It was more like a wolf. That's really interesting.
What do you feel about this idea? And I know last night you gave Yvette a bracelet as a form of protection. What do you feel about this experiment tonight, the first and most haunted life? They are down there without either a medium clairvoyant or Kieran O'Keefe. What's your gut reaction?
I think they're crazy, but there you go. That's the team. That's what they want to do, you know. I wouldn't go down on my own like that.
Thank you very much for the moment. Fred Batt, Leslie Smith. I think now we're going to go to Julian Clegg to find out what you've been seeing and sensing at home. Julian, over to you and the interactive team.
Thanks very much indeed, Paul. And of course, all eyes on the basement webcam. We're going to look at that in a moment, which is where the team are going. Thank you for your messages. Already, you're transfixed by the vigil, the seance we've had here in St George's Hall, which is very interesting, and also your comments about what you can see in St George's Hall as well. Keep those coming. Other messages coming in thick and fast as well. Stephen in Cow Plain says Yvette should be careful tonight, because I'm very worried about her. Lots of you watching the show, having parties and so on. Here's one Liz from Windermere in the Lake District. We're having a huge Most Haunted Live party tonight. We're all watching in the dark with our cocktails gripped to the show. Brilliant stuff. Good luck and stay safe. That's the way we like it. Keep in touch with those events too. Now let's go through the webcams right now. First of all, webcam 1, the upper trap door. And Jack in Sidcup says, a little girl walked across the upper trapdoor, then she started to sway. After that, she vanished. Jeff from Lancaster, I keep hearing clicking and a mist, which went across the camera. And Joanne from Newcastle, loads of shadows here, absolutely everywhere. Be careful is the message from her. Webcam 2, the upper corridor room. A tall, dark figure of a man, says Kira, and Nick is standing in the far right-hand side of the room. And by the way, we're having a Most Haunted Live party. Stay safe, team, please. Alex in East Sussex, I saw a figure moving towards the camera and then going straight through it. Webcam 2, the upper corridor room. Let's go to webcam 3, the lower tunnel corridor. There it is. I heard a noise of a door slamming, says Gemma, in St Blasey, and Rhiannon and Illinois in Fishguard. So we've seen a man in a black cloak walking up and down that corridor. And Adam in Kent says, I've just seen a black figure with a top hat limping down that corridor on that webcam. That's the lower tunnel corridor. Now, all importantly, the basement room. This is where the team are going, and let me tell you what you're saying on this. Still, I'm seeing indeed. Sylvia from Blackpool, I can see a man and a woman as though in full conversation, dressed in what looks like Victorian clothes. And Alex from Chesterfield watching the webcam. I saw a woman walk past a long grey and white dress. Good luck to the team. Finally, some messages. Monkey says, Chrissy from St Leonard's, they are significant. They're a sign of demons. Make sure the team are well protected tonight. And I leave you with this thought from Karen in Wiltshire. No matter which webcam I look at, there's some sort of entity flying around erratically. They all look the same and are acting in the same way. I think we're not talking about the witches and not talking about good ones, and I don't think it's going to be Pendle Hill either. It's like the spirits, are saying, we are here but waiting for something else to arrive before it all starts. Is that something else a demon? We'll find out. Paul, back to you.
Thank you, Julian, and thank you to everybody who has taken the trouble to get in touch with us so far this evening. We're approaching a break. Please keep watching those webcams. Yvette Fielding and the team have relocated to the cellars of this majestic building, the dark, forbidding cellars of St George's Hall, and they are without protection, without the scientific protection of Dr. Kieran O'Keefe, and without the psychic protection of our medium clairvoyance. Oh, and after this break, a member of our audience will be joining them. Hello and welcome back to Most Haunted Live, where the search for evil continues, and this is our final night, the 7th of 7 nights of fright, where the team are looking for different manifestations of the paranormal, and throughout the week, believe me, they have found them. Tonight, though, something special, something dangerous and something very dark, because they are in pursuit of demons, and they have gone to the bowels of this building, St George's Hall here in Liverpool on Merseyside, and they are without protection, without psychic protection because they are without a medium clairvoyant, and without scientific protection because Dr. Kieran O'Keefe is not with them. But somebody special will be joining them very soon. One of our studio audience will soon be joining tonight's investigation, because it is time for me to extend the icy hand of invitation. Clench that hand into a frigid fist and point a frozen finger of fate at you, KG Brew from Lancaster. Joining the team tonight and ushered there by artisan-head temptress Helen, whose mother's maiden name was Freeman, which is ironic because as a young woman, most of her teenage clothes were purchased from the Littlewoods catalogue. Good luck, Katie, you might well need it tonight. Okay, that's a moment of celebration and anticipation. Now for something very serious. Now for a team without protection. They are in the cellars of this remarkable building. Let's get straight back now to a very brave indeed Yvette Fielding and the rest of the team. Good luck, Yvette.
Thanks very much. Sorry, Paul, I'll just sort of slightly correct you there. We are protected. We've done protection amongst ourselves. Some of us are. Carl and Stuart, you know, as per, have refused to have the protection. So, but you're right in another way. We don't have Brian. We don't have Kieran. There's Kath and Carl. David is behind me. Chris is still on camera. We have Daniel, who's pulling the cables, Stuart, and then we have Robin hiding around the corner, and we also have Stuart Harrison, who is our location producer. We're walking across this this bridge. It's just such an eerie place. Listen. It's on the bridge. are you?